Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and I'm filming this on the 12th of August. Should go out in the next 2 or 3 days, and I thought we'd have a little bit of a closer look at my largest embryo pomegranate fruit. I want to be careful not to handle it too much in case something silly happens, like I knock it off, because it might not be set as well as I was hoping it is. You never can tell, but so I'll have to be a little bit careful handling it. I've enclosed this particular one. I've done actually 3 or 4 in bags, but I put this one in a bag in the hope that it will not attract the attention of squirrels, rats, birds, or whatever else might like to have a pick at it, or butterflies laying eggs on it, so it gets maggots in it, because it would be a shame not to see what potential it could get to. So I thought we'd let you have a look at the size. I used to measure it in the bag, but it's approximately, the diameter now is about 2.5 centimetres, 2.5 inches, so about 6 centimetres. So I'm really pleased with the progress of that by the second week of August. Now we should have another 6 weeks of growing time. I mean, where the problems start with things like this is pomegranates only develop while the fruit's while the tree is still in active growth. So if we were to get a very cold spell for a few days in the middle of, say, September, that could put this pomegranate, start putting it into dormancy, and once they go into dormancy, they cut the sap off to the fruit, and the fruit starts to dry out. So if you look at trees in London, quite often you'll see quite large dried out fruits, because basically they haven't quite made it to maturity. But they dry out just like figs do once the tree gets dormant and the sap gets cut off. So what I'm hoping we're going to have this year is obviously very warm, pleasantly warm to the end of August, and hopefully a mild September without any real cold spells, and if we're really lucky, mild weather into early October. Now there's a possibility that if we get a mild September, that this will carry on growing. I'm kind of hoping that it'll get to about a 3, maybe even a 4-inch diameter. I mean, 4-inch would be huge for over here. It's not, as far as I know, a named variety. It came from Burnkoos, just as Punica granatum, but that doesn't mean that it's not a named variety, because obviously over the years, sometimes as they get, once they get propagated and move from grower to grower, what was a named variety becomes an unknown plant. But I'm really excited by the size of it for early in August, so I think there's a good chance it will get to an edible looking size. The problem will be if we get enough, whether or not we're going to get enough heat in late September and October for it to start to ripen and actually have edible fruit arils inside. I don't know, but I thought I'd do an update, a proper update on it, for people interested in the challenge of trying to grow pomegranates here. This isn't as large as the fruits that Joe's got on his tree, but he's got much larger trees, and obviously they set fruit earlier, and being a large tree they can put a lot more energy into the fruit than my effectively what's a bush. It is about 5 feet tall, but it is only a bush rather than a tree, so it has got obviously a couple other fruits on it. There's one up here which is smaller than the other one, and I've got a couple down here in bags which I thought I'd protect, and it's got 1 or 2 other smaller fruits like that one still sitting on it, and I think there's another one, yeah, there's another one up here as well. They're all about 1.5 to 2 inches, so doubtful if they would get to an edible size, but I was particularly interested in that one because that's the one that's set earliest and is the biggest. So hope you found that of some interest. Thank you for watching. Share the video if you like, give me a thumbs up of course, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. it's always free. And remember to click on the bell if you'd like to know when new videos come out. And obviously I will in September do an update on these pomegranates and as to whether or not they've got any bigger. I'll see you all soon. Brett out for now.